What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so shout out to Dreamers Pro. All right, I just seen his video talking about this subject. All right, so Stephen A. Smith on a recent episode of First Take, I guess they were doing a panel discussion talking about how the NBA right now does not really have strong representation as far as an American player being the future face of the league. As we all know, LeBron, Ramon James, and Steph Curry have been pretty much the face of the league, although the mainstream media tends to try to make it LeBron, but whatever the case. Their playing days are coming to an end, right? Especially LeBron, Ramon James. And it cannot be denied that as far as dominance is concerned, foreign-born players have been preeminent in the NBA. I mean, hell, we haven't had an American-born MVP, I believe, since James Harden, which I think was 2018. Was it 2018, 19? No, 2017, 18. Yeah, because Giannis was what, 2018, 19, 2019, 20. Then I think 2020, 21 was Jokic. 2021, 22, Jokic. 2022, 23, I think was Embiid. And then last year was Jokic. And then right now, it looks like he's leaning to be Shea, who's from Canada. So, yeah. But anyway, Stephen A. Smith says that he believes that an American should be the face of the league, since basically the game was discovered here, even though it was actually a Canadian, James Naismith, that founded the modern game that we consider basketball. And Stephen A. Smith pretty much gave his viewpoints. The game has always been seen as an American game originating here. It should have an American face. Stephen A. Smith got in trouble with this before. As we all remember, it was a couple of years ago, he made those infamous statements about Shohei Ohtani, who at the time was a phenom with the Anaheim Angels, I believe he's with the Dodgers now. And he talked about how Shohei Ohtani would have problems being the face of baseball because of his language limitations. He had an interpreter. That interpreter has been found since subsequently to been stealing, what was it, $17 million from Ohtani. I think the media should have talked about it a little bit more. Recently, I think he was sentenced to so many years in prison. But Stephen A. Smith called out a flack for that. He called out a flack for that, and he had to apologize. He won't apologize to us. Remember when he almost purposely mispronounced those Nigerian basketball players' surnames, and then he gave a fake apology. It was, swarmy, fake, arrogant apology. But when it came to Ohtani and Asian Americans, he apologized everywhere. He apologized on Instagram. He apologized in the first official statement from ESPN. He apologized on X/Twitter. He apologized in a memo. He apologized to the different Asian American groups. Got on a knee and groveled and begged for mercy. Mea culpa for them. But look, this is my take on this, right? I understand the sentiment that an American should be a face of the league. I get it. As an American, you kind of root for that. But let's look at what's out there. Those guys don't really want to be, they don't want their responsibility. Think about it. These guys that's coming up now, I don't think the way these guys are mentally, first of all, okay, let's be honest, okay? Our culture, okay, is not one that is designed at this point, as far as how we raise men, to be leaders. Let's be honest about this. And I hate to go this route, man. I really, really hate to do this. But let's look at the black community, which, let's be honest, 80+% of the players, or no, not 80 plus, I think 75% of the players, 75 to what, 80% of the players, whatever that percentage is, are black. Might be 80+%. Wait a minute. Our communities right now, we lack generally males in the household, right? How are, I'm just saying, like, it ain't always like this. I'm speaking in general. A lot of times when you don't have a male in the household, or at least a male in that child's life, there's going to be some deficiencies they're going to have. A boy needs some type of male guidance, even if it's not a father, an uncle, grandpas. They need somebody to show them what to be a man. Part of that is leadership. And it doesn't surprise me that you have so many wealthy, rich beta males in the NBA, American born beta males. It's just not in their DNA anymore. They don't want that responsibility to be the face of the league. Nobody wants that. They just want to make their money, go out there and ball, and do all their little dirt in the background. You know what I'm saying? As long as they ain't getting in trouble, as long as they're showing police blotters, I guess it don't matter. But that's not what they want. Maybe we have to go outside the United States and find someone who's willing to do that, who wants to step up and be the face of the league. I mean, because right now the best players are foreign born. Dreams Pro just put up a number that's mind boggling to me, a stat. Uh, Last year, with the exception, I think, of Jason Tatum, I think he said Tatum, all of the All NBA first team players were foreign born. And even with this American thing, right? I'm a little funny about that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because despite the fact that the NBA has its reputation for being this progressive league, when you look at the history of the NBA, even though we tend to think of baseball as having this color line, up until Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, the NBA was not very fond of featuring black players. I mean, let's not be, you gotta be, I mean, honestly, that's why I have so much reverence for Red Auerbach, because Red Auerbach was the first coach who emphasized, I don't care about the color of these players' skin. I want to put the best lineup out there. And he appreciated the Boston Celtics management. Look, I'm trying to get the best players out there. Because before that, the AB, the B, the ABL, the BAA, then the early days of the NBA, they did not want to play black players, y'all. And the conventional wisdom is that black players didn't have the mental fortitude to deliver in crunch time and all this bullshit. And also, they felt that white fans wouldn't pay good money to watch black players. And that held back so many great black players, or would be great black players, in the early years of the NBA, such as Chuck Cooper and many others. Then you started seeing that go away, and you started seeing great black players. Bill Russell, the first black superstar. You know what I'm saying? Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor. All these guys I have so much reverence for. So look, the NBA started off as a game dominated by North American cities, expanded to the Midwest, eventually reached out to the Pacific Coast, and then it became a truly national game in the 70s and 80s, and then it became a global sport. So it makes sense that the NBA and basketball has become a truly global sport. So it makes sense when you have games now that are actually being held outside the United States. Yes, you're going to have global stars, international stars. Okay, Chinese They dominate as far as streaming with the NBA. They help to keep the NBA afloat. So of course you're going to see representation from other countries. It's just bound to happen, man. So now I think that Stephen A. Smith's thinking on this is antiquated. I think he has a 1990s, 2000 mentality when it comes to the game today. And I don't care about whether or not a player has, 8 syllables in his goddamn name, his surname. I don't care. As long as he's balling and he's put on a good show, I don't give a fuck what his nationality is. I don't care what color he is. Now, I don't know whether or not Stephen A. Smith is trying to tap into some tepid xenophobia with his remarks, because we all know he has political designs, even though he tries to keep denying it. But you running for the wrong party if that's your take on it, or maybe he's trying to consider having a third party run. I don't trust that dude. He keeps saying he don't want to run, but I wouldn't put it past Stephen A. Smith because he keeps talking about how ain't no money in politics. I wouldn't put it past him. You know what I'm saying? This is just my opinion. Okay, I'm just throwing this out here. I can't prove it, but I think he's a grifter. We all know how much he loves money. I wouldn't put it past him that his rich Republican friends fund a third party run for him to siphon off conservative and just slightly right of center Democrats or independents to help the Republican candidate win in 2028. I wouldn't put it past him to do that. But anyway, that's just a conspiracy theory for future uh, reference. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.